Hello and welcome! Yeah, seems to be hot summer day, not many people here yet. Hey Damo, nice to see you here. Hey Becky, if you're in the background. Let's smash some juice things first, as it is a tradition here. Yeah, you say I should advertise more, but where, when? I'm not looking for the attention. Yeah, you know, I'm feeling bad about that. But I'm very hyped for today's stream because this morning I was speaking about playing Pure Fire in random PvEs with our new YouTube star Prajoss, or not sure how to spell him. He will join in a minute, latest in half an hour, and he said he thinks Pure Fire is viable for RPVE 10, which I'm not really convinced of yet, though I love Pure Fire, and we decided we want to make a Pure Fire session today, trying a little bit Pure Fire in Intense. Probably you want to join, Damo, would be great. Yeah, I need to kill some time until then. Probably I will just jump straight into a match. I haven't played much lately. I feel I'm saying this every stream since 4 weeks or so. Yeah, but I'm a little bit burned out on Battleforge. Only the battlefield at noon makes it a little bit more fun. Oh, you gotta work! Oh my gosh! Poor guy, I'm feeling with you. Working now on this hot day so late is not fun. At least here in North Rhine-Westphalia. It's hot weather. Really hot weather. I will look if I can hop on a random game, probably a 9, to get a little bit more used to my fire playing. Yeah, fine, Halunda. Haven't seen you for a while. Sup, mate. Halunda hasn't been online for quite a while. I know he was trying out RPVE 10 solo. It must have been like half a year ago or so, and he made some awesome progress from his first steps, beating his first RPVE 10s to, I think, a very good top 3 or top 5 position in the rankings of the map of the month. We had some exchange, and seemed to be a nice guy. I need to have half an eye on my Discord. Yeah, Prajoss just told me he's ready in a second. That's cool. But I think if I have at least 1 viewer, so I gotta play a match, hoping for more people. And if not, we have a very familiar session today. That's cool too. I had a game, a 10 game today, with Pure Fire, with another Pure Fire player. He was less experienced, I think, but not that bad. He really played good. He played very solid. A few strange moves, but yeah, I'm sticking too close to the meter often, I think. So not bad at all. And we lost horrific. We really lost horrific. We had a Twilight match. I think Twilight matchups are quite the worst thing that can happen for... Oh damn, my Battleforge crashed again. It crashed today once and it crashed again. I think Twilight is one of the worst matchups for Pure Fire. That's why I'm thinking that Pure Fire is not such a good idea in tens if you're not in a very friendly environment, have some mates that can support you probably at least a little bit. You can support them with great firepower, and they can support you with a little bit sustain and even more important CC. But I'm very curious to see what ideas Prajoss has. And probably even I can learn a little bit. I haven't played much lately. Binny, that's nice. I want to join him. He's saying hello. I will do that too. And I will excuse for my disconnect. Okay, what do we have here? A Boom Brothers deck. I've seen this deck before, but I don't know what it is. Oh, Prajoss is ready. I would just invite him into a call and then play this match. Gonna get to know him a little bit. And then he can probably tell me a little bit what he thinks of my fire play. So I will just give him a quick call in between.
Hello.
Hey mate, greetings, nice to meet you. I just hopped into a 9. I hope it's fine if for you to watch just around. It just said to our... Oh, we got a little more viewers now.
Nice.
That I'm very curious what you think about my fire approaches. I'm open
I will
for...
see. Also, your link in the Discord chat is broken. You cannot double copy pasted it.
Okay, probably I want to look at it in a second, but I do not want to let my mates down, so we'll play this match before. As I was not sure when you will arrive, I decided just to hop into a match to get a little bit warm. I'm a little bit burnt out on Battleforge lately, and I did not play so much in the last month, months even, and I think a little bit of practice is not bad. A nice camp here. I want you to...
Oh, you have Lost Souls, okay.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, Lost Souls don't have spawning buildings, right? At least not early on.
It's a 9 and nobody has a spawning building here. I'm playing on the inner lane, so no spawn for me.
Oh, you're playing on 4-player map, yeah, okay.
Yes, 4-player 9.
And mostly 2 solo, so
just
there's a difference.
Just a classic. Okay, Beanie is usually, I know him very well, he's usually a very experimental player, so gotta look a little bit in what pace I will play. I see here the fire swords, they're a little bit off meter, but a funny decision.
Yeah, pretty good against a ton of small units and good against Lost Souls because they have some large units. So they're like...
Yeah, they're a quite good large counter, but only for ground units, not for air, so I think they're quite a waste slot in a meter approach. Of course, I always emphasize, I'm fine with playing a card just for playing that card. If you know it's not the perfect decision, I think that's the great fun about card games, but and Binny knows this is off meter.
But then again, what ranged, what flying unit do you expect on tier 1?
It could be...
I think there is none.
No, but there could be Vigils on in the tier 3, on the tier 3 camp, so at tier 2, yeah. And you would use, you would have to use another slot, which is quite inefficient usually. What do we have here? We have a double income. Not sure if you already touched those guys.
Yeah, but I think you have more than enough slots. I see a lot of your cards that are like situational anyways, like Wildfire.
I would like to speak about decks before we hop onto our first
Sure.
on our first 10 match. I just told a friend that is in the chat that I struggled heavily today. Ah, damn. Okay, let's pull it to your side if you want. I struggled heavily today on a 10. We lost horrific. It was a bloody disaster. It was a Twilight match. I think Twilight is one of the worst matchups for Pure Fire in 10s. But I could imagine even more problems. I once tried to play a solo Stonekin map. We all know the tier 3 is quite challenging. And the only person that came up with a solution for this tier 3 was Trime. I think you probably know this guy.
No.
Okay.
Oh, Trine from chat. Yeah, from chat.
Trime
What
he's the RPVE PVE god we all praise on, and he's really an amazing player, and he was the only player that came up with a solution for that specific situation, and nobody that I know, and I know a lot of top players, was able to play this solution he suggested even. We were not able, we had the solution in front of our eyes and were not able to repeat that. It was really amazing what he played over there. Can I help him?
So what was the problem?
The XL units compared with the Wind Hunter and the Strong Towers. It's really challenging and even a little bit close. It was so challenging for Pure Fire. I will lose.
So we are still talking about Pure Fire, right?
Yes.
And you had tier 2.
You were not able to get tier 2 on this map. Even he baited he killed the front line of the camp, so it was not attracting anymore. Then he got his tier 2 and was running around kiting with a melee torture gun that was there between his tier 2 and tier 1, and then one by one did the camp. It was really amazing.
Okay, we'll have a look at it. Sounds really amazing.
Yeah, it was crazy what he played over there. So I got a wave trap now.
What I see at your deck right now, so I have to admit, the meta for solo and 4-player is completely different.
It's completely different, yes.
You have so much time to push. Yeah, of course, trying to push early with a few tier 1 units is fine, but I think you lack firepower, especially against the air. And I would suggest using
this is not my 10 deck. This is not my 10 deck, by the way.
Oh, it's not your 10 deck, okay.
Of course, I have a little more anti-air option. I think I'm playing the Sunstriders instead of the Suppression in 10s.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
You need either the Blaster Cannon or the Sunstriders, else it gets really ugly.
Well, you can just use 2 Morgles and pull the enemies in a mine and just blast everything to hell.
Not really an option in 4-player, I think, but probably I'm missing something and can see how you do it better. I think I have an amazing experience with fire, but I know that I struggle often, and I'm really hoping that we can share some tricks to each other and can profit both from this session. That would be the best outcome.
So what are the timing breakpoints? When you should have tier 2, when do you should have tier 3 and tier 4? So what's the experience? How much do you have left to finish the map from tier 4?
Usually on a 4-player map, you should have the tier 4 by around minute, let's say minute 12, minute 13 could be still enough to finish up the map.
So 8 minutes to finish. Yeah. Okay.
That's
I mean, you are 4 players, so you don't have to. But also depends a bit on the layout.
depends on the layout, of course, and depends on many things. On the player strength, on what decks are played. Really depends on a lot of things. But usually I played a lot of 10s. Not lately, but I played a lot of 10s, and yeah, from my experience, you're fine if you have your tier 4 by minute 13. Else, you're really in danger of running out of time. You can do
So
it.
you have 21 minutes total.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, 8 minutes sounds good, but otherwise it will get. So I think you can get really problematic with lost souls because of the shielding. It's so annoying if the one dude shields like the whole army, and then you lose damage.
Yes, for the early camps I totally agree. For the later camps, I think the problems are different ones.
Yeah, but the early camps cost you so much time.
Yes, but that's what I like about the 10s, that you have this long early game, which you do not have in the 9s usually. I mean, we're in minute 9:40 now, and usually if I'm playing with my pre-made group, my static pre-made, we finish the map either now or in the next 1 or 2 minutes. Okay. No matter what deck we are playing. So we're different players from the attitude, I think, to, as you said, you have so much time in a solo 10. It would not be an option to play a solo 10 in 30 minutes. So for me, usually I would like to finish my map in. Not every run has to be a speed run for me. I'm not good in these super detailed speed runs. That's nothing for me. I'm quite okay-ish in my micro, but I'm not that good. But I want to finish my map usually in a reasonable time, so would love to be finished around minute 20, 25 latest, let's say.
I mean, 25 is easily possible, and if you don't play budget.
Yes, usually, and even with a budget deck, if it's lean to the meter, that should be fine. I did not activate my shrines, and we have a shrine running, so I can.
You have 4 shrines. Someone posted in the chat.
Yeah, it's too warm in my room.
Oh, someone using Virtuoso. I tried to buy some, but only one on the auction house.
What do you need?
Virtuosos.
Oh, okay.
Trumpet guy.
If you want...
I wanted to try him because I think after the recent buffs, he's quite good at just clearing the spawning buildings fast.
If you want to have something for today's session, we need to see if I need it for my deck, but if you need something for today's session, I can probably help you out and lean you some cards just for testing purpose. They should be not a problem. I have every card 4 times, and I don't feel that should be a problem.
Should be fine. You have 6 dudes on 1 charge. That's enough. Normally don't really need more. So I have to see how tier 10 plays out with 4 players. We can just do a run with just us 2, just to check out and see how difficult it is.
I think getting tier 3, tier 4 isn't the biggest problem. I've played today as
tier 2.
It's
not tier 2, it's like tier 3.
Yes, playing, getting the tier 2 with fire is obviously the pure Battleforge meta. It's the strongest faction to start with, and there we should have no problems at all. With the MVPs, with fire starters, and we're not only that we have much firepower, we are even the team players, more team play probably than any other faction can provide in a 10 start. Okay, they're coming down there.
So Wildfire was buffed, right? Seems like really good.
I'm not even sure it was buffed.
120 damage per second? It's more than I remember.
At least I would not disagree. I just say I don't know nothing.
I think when they
Whoa!
buffed it initially on the damage against buildings and then kind of buffed it back for the non-building damage.
Did you see that wave? What's happening here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A little ambush.
Yeah, it was this crossing over here that made problems. Okay, I cannot play my usual dancer strategy, that's a problem. You already have a good strategy against dancers? Because they, I guess you know, as fire lover, they can disenchant your sustain tools, the Unity and the Bloodthirst.
Throw an Inferno on the head?
That's often possible, but the Inferno has the risk that you miss them. Often starting with a lava field, and that was what Dutchy was speaking about today in the Discord. Starting with a lava field is great because it has this great CC effect, knocks them back, and sometimes you can use the Earthshaker to further CC them. Let's see if it works here. Ah no, if they are here at the spawner, you can just CC them further, and she is completely knocked out.
You can use Earthquake, perma knockback her all the time.
Yes.
But the problem with lava field, if there are too many units in between, they take all the damage, and if no damage is dealt, she gets no knockback.
Yes, that's true, of course. It's about the placement of the lava field. But we've tested this, I think we had the last... I'm streaming since 3 months now, and... Oh, I should really help him with this. We had a few Purifier streams, and we could see this often, that this strategy isn't that bad. Getting them with an Inferno is very cool too, but you can miss it with the first shot. You're often a little bit more secure, but yeah, anything that CC, so Inferno, Lava Field, all the Earthshaker are doing a great job there.
Yeah.
Usually not playing flyers against.
Are there any hounds that have the anti-magic field? I'm not sure if they have something.
This raptors?
Those hounds that have the anti-magic field, and you can't play spells around it.
Yeah, you will often face them against Lost Souls. They can hinder you from any CC on a dancer. So can if there's... Oh damn, too late. But that goes too for the Banestones. If you have those Banestones, they can hinder you completely to place a CC where you need, and I think you can do nothing there. Just brute force, going into the camp, killing as much as possible, and mostly works. But Lost Souls can be a nasty enemy, of course.
So there is a thing that they can't do anything about, and that's a comet catcher. Because it's an ability from a building far away.
Okay.
You can throw it, but it takes like 11 seconds and then it lands.
Yeah.
You have to survive for a bit.
So no solution again, because your sustain is already disenchanted in 11 seconds. But another good option too, yes.
I don't know, do they have like a cooldown on the disenchant? Otherwise you can Oh, and can you enchant again?
No, you cannot
No, you
disenchant the
can.
disenchant.
Okay. So as long as you're disenchanted, you can't get buffs?
That's correct. That's correct. And you
That's a
cannot
problem.
disenchant her disenchant. I think that would be one fair tool for Purefire. I'm fighting the balance team for some kind of anti-CC would help, I think, and a little bit more heal on the blood healing would be nice. I think. I think Purefire is a lovely faction that can be really steamrolling enemies, but if you're facing hard camps, I've seen no player, literally no player, that could beat secure hard camps with fire. Sometimes it works if your spells are really on point, if your micro's on point. You can bring your Purefire through really tough situations, but I've seen any kind of player, really good players, dying with Purefire, sometimes viping. This would be my 10 deck. I made some very good matches with it and some not so good, but I'm not sure when things went wrong, what I could do better.
Let me see. So
And this is
your
not
tier 1 is basically Sunstriders, Nomads. Okay, that's classy.
Yeah, you have
With
the
mines
tier 1
and
here.
eruption.
You have the units ascending in tiers, and you have the spells a little bit more sorted to utility over there. Because
but in the other direction, I see.
are not truly in the other direction, but
it's
more
not,
a little bit more to what hotkeys I use, a little bit more thematic. I know my sorting is strange. My friends always cry when I share a deck to them.
Never mind. So you have Gladiatrix basically for anti-air.
Anti-air and anti-L unit option. And additionally, I think they're one of the best tools against Stonekin XL units, because Gladiatrix have really a high damage output. But you need to gather all your 60 Gladiatrix then, and really need to wait for a long time. And if you do not succeed, you're really fucked.
Okay. And then on tier 2 we have Lower Field and basically nothing more.
Yes. I can open the options, and we can go through them. I think the tier 1, I know the tier 1 is super fine and can do
you
anything.
can sort for orbs. Makes it kinda easy.
What do you mean?
Top right. You can do the sorting not for color but for orbs. Then you don't have to click them away.
Yeah, they are sorted by orbs anyway, but I just wanted to get out the tier 1 because I know the tier 1 is super fine. There are different options, but you're a little bit limited in tens with the slots. A suppression would be very nice to have, but I think this Sunstriders fulfill perfectly this job. You have
more than enough.
A little bit utility, you have a little bit of anti-air, and you have a little bit of tower suppression, so I think they're the perfect choice for this job. Skyfire Drakes can be very good, situational, of course.
They're really good on PvE maps, but I'm not sure about random PvE. They're so low health.
So, and the rest is not really an option to me. Convince me if you see any in tier 2.
If you need CC, you can always play Rogan. Rogan is amazing, it pushes your damage and it has a CC. I think it wasn't he buffed recently?
I think so too.
No, he got his aura buffed and he can CC the 3 biggest stuff that just attacks you.
Yes.
He's a great counter against like big units.
True. That's really a nice idea. Though I usually try to avoid as much colorless cards in pure decks as possible. But truly an option. You could skip I think more the Fire Dancer than the Gladiatrix, because nomads are very viable with their tier 1 spells in tier 3 still, and probably the Fire Dancer would be the kick. I think she's not a
sure
good
what
option.
we need Fire Dancer for. That's the big question. What do we need it for? Like the camp, if you attack the camp, it just gets pulled anyway into your face.
Yes,
so,
yes.
It's not like this small tower is really a problem, especially if you have Sunstride, just disable it.
If you have let put me like this. I'm not a great fan of Fire Dancer from the utility side in RPVE. I think they're crap mostly.
Yeah.
But their building damage is absolutely insane, and the tier 3 camps and the tier 4 camps can have quite big buildings in RPVE10, and they have a great CC on S units in tier 2. That's why I stick to them lately a little bit. But probably an idea to take Rogan for this special job if you have some XL units. I like the idea.
Well, I really love Fire Dancer, but I was so disappointed in RPVE, so I just threw them out of the deck.
Yes, that's another point for me to play them.
So niche.
I love
so
her
niche.
and Juggernaut promos. The only promos that I like.
Yeah, I pulled a Jugger promo. I was really happy.
Nice
also,
one.
as a pure fire player, I was like, yeah, nice. Good pull.
Tier 3 is super fine, I know that. Tier 3 is probably everything best in slot.
Tier 3... I'm not sure about the disenchant, to be honest.
Disenchant is absolutely mandatory in my eyes.
What for?
Any kind of paralyze can fuck your army in the mid game, and because you do not have that much army, you do have this 21-minute time limit, and you need to proceed as fast as possible.
Yeah, but it only affects one unit, doesn't it?
Yes, but you have your Batarial, and if your Batarial can hit, something dies. And if you're facing those ugly 8 Wind Hunter situations, you're standing around in a camp with some XL units. I know mid game your army gets crushed quite fast if you have nothing that can fight. And having a Batarial fighting at least a little bit into the camp, from my experience, helps a lot.
Yeah, you need a Batarial, that's for sure.
I played very often. I played against Twilight, against those Will Zappers to get them out, against those Wind Hunters that can be very annoying. And if the Wind Hunters get you in the pool and freeze every enemy, every unit that you has, your units are standing around for like 5-6 seconds and do nothing. They get no heal because the Bloodthirst can't proc, and this is often enough time for enemies to crush your whole army. Yeah. That's a reason why I too have the Ember Strike as
Ember's great.
As utility unit. I know many people find it very strange to find this in a pure fire deck.
I don't know why. It's a really tuned up eruption.
It's a tuned up eruption. It's a great defender. It has decent, super decent. Yeah, what's the word for it?
That's
the value of HP to in ratio to the power cost is the highest of, I think, any tier 4 or close to the highest of any tier 4 units. So you cannot get more life points into your unity than you can get with an Ember Strike. So it pumps up your HP if you need it. You have those big eruptions, and we had this once in a stream. I wanted to show why I put it, and I got this situation once. When your army is crushed in a BG9 or 10, when things are really hard sometimes, the most maps, I think 9 of 10 maps, you play just like a firewall through the enemies, nothing can stop you. But you have those some maps that are very hard, and if your army is almost about to crush, those amber strikes can recover you just in the field. You put those amber strikes when your battalion fall, and put another, you get a void back from those eruptions, and a running shrine of war, and you can stay in fight than just running new again, and that's why Amber Strike has insane value of pure fire. I know many people found this strange, but I know that some of our really top PvE players were finding out this at the same time I found this strategy, and I think he's one of the 5 most valuable cards in the whole deck.
Emma, I really like it, especially after the buff. Especially after the buff.
Yes, it was greatly buffed. Anything else you would say, oh no, I wouldn't take this at all, I would switch this completely to another card? Any cards you would personally miss?
I'm not sure about Moloch, to be honest.
The great thing about Moloch is the following. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. I hope I can just show this in a second. Any unit that hits the Moloch with a ranged attack, the whole ranged attack gets toggled down. And does only less damage. If you bind them in the unity, get almost no damage.
So, but that's a bug, right? That's not
Yes.
how it's supposed to be.
But this is an amazing tanking option.
I mean, Moloch is a great option, right?
And this helps a lot against those crazy Lost Souls camps, those crazy fire camps. I'm not a fan of Moloch. I love his artwork. This artwork is so great. I think the unit design is a little bit shitty though. But I'm a fan of the artwork. I hate it being slow. I'm begging for removing this slow since a year, I think. And I refused to play him for a long time. And then I've seen another player playing Pure Fire, which was way less experienced, but did a better job in hard camps because of having his Moloch that could take out this these strong ranged attacks. All just go down and do so little damage, and this helps you so much with his stain. I think I play a Moloch in 1 to 3 games out of 10. Mostly it's not played, but if I see the map is very hard, he can be the MVP carrying your army through the last row and giving very much sustain, and he's helping against some bosses which do strong range damage, because you can really struggle with pure fire on those.
Yeah, against range bosses. Alright. I mean, you always have some cards in the deck that are maybe niche and good for some situations.
Which cards do you think are niche?
Moloch. Like,
okay, yeah. As said, niche use cases, but very important. Okay. Same for that.
Against some factions and like useless against other factions, but it's still important cards. If you don't have them, it will be a lot harder.
Yes.
Also, I would like the combination of Moloch and Comet Catcher. You just surround with your Moloch in and then drop meteors, and the Moloch still probably survives.
Yeah, that's a cool thing, but this does not give me the satisfaction of playing Pure Fire, because that's why I often skip the Moloch and do not play him. I want to play fast, straightforward, just rolling over the enemies, crushing the camps like nothing, and as we had the discussion today in the forum, just kill it before it kills you. That's the way I like to play my Pure Fire. And before the Bloodthirst buff came with a patch before the last, I often you died very often with your Purifier, and I still liked it. I just ran in, crushed the spawner, ran in again, and killed the rest. And yeah, that was the only way to play Purifier back then against harder camps.
That's how you do it. What I'm not sure about is how good Thunder Wagon is, especially the Shadow variation.
I've tried when starting out, when my Fire Love came, I tried to start the tier 4 phase, the early tier 4, with those purple Thunder Wagons, because they give a little bit of damage when they die. So I played them on purpose to just make the first camps go as fast as far as they could go, and then just die on purpose to make some damage. Sounded like a good idea in my head, but I could not make it really work, and I found out that the combination of these 4 should probably the fire meter.
Be enough, yeah.
Of course, it's fine if you want to play a Thunder Wagon, because you want to play a Thunder Wagon. People should always do this. Could you show me your deck? Is there anything you're missing, or I would like to see your Purifier approach.
So I just build it together because I don't have all cards. You can just.
Is there anything I could lean you for this session?
Oh, I have everything I need.
Okay, just feel free to ask. That's no problem. I have everything around. Do you think Juggernaut is worth the slot?
Yeah.
Or is it just for style reasons? And that would be fine to play him for style reasons.
So first off, style reason, and second, the Stampede is really amazing to just crush buildings. That's the point why I played Fire. You send 2 Juggers, you crush you just run with them in the suicide mission, kill the spawning camp, and then you start cleaning up.
Okay. I love the Juggernaut. I love his voice acting. I love how the promo Jugger looks, and I'm so disappointed. I could never make it work. I have, for the 9s, I have my fire deck, which I just played, which you've seen in the last game, and I have a meme fire deck in which I play just on purpose to play them, the Fire Dance and the Juggernaut, because I like these 2 cards. And I can remember a day when I switched from my fire deck to my meme fire and had a tier 4 in which I could not get to the tier 4 without walking the way past around, and there was a close camp even to the tier 4, and I had to walk through the close camp to get to the tier 4 because an XL unit couldn't pass because of the placing of the orbs and wells, and I was struggling so hard playing, I think, like 5 Juggers. I think I even used I recharged the Juggernaut last charge, and I recharged it, and this 5th Juggernaut could reach the tier 4. I think we were losing that match out of time, and that's the day I realized he's so cool, but not so strong for me, at least in RPVE, but I want to have a look how he performs in your hands. By the way, hi Ultralord, nice to see you. He's a Stammgast here, and always nice to have him in the matches too. Probably he wants to join us. Yeah, the rest looks very familiar. Beside this Morkley trap.
I wanna test it. I used it to do my solo XP run on Blight because I needed like a budget list, and Morkleys were just amazing and crushing everything. So because the blast wave and the Morkley explosion kills flying units.
Okay.
But you have to let the melees run, so the explosion also. So it has 2 damaging effects. One if it dies, and one if you activate it.
I haven't used it for quite a while. I think there was some contest where I used it for a special situation, but it's a card that's not really on my trodden path.
if you hit everything, you deal about 5k damage for 120 energy. That's about the level of a mine, so damage-wise pretty good. But you have to wait like your 15-20 seconds for it to be built. It's the only problem. It really needs like this speed up building ability to get at least 50% faster.
And where do you use it in RPVE? For which situation?
I will see. Maybe to push tier 3. Just pulling the units and killing the half camp of it.
Okay. Sounds fun. Sounds fun.
You will see if it works. I'm not sure.
I'm not really a fan of using static buildings in RPVE where you have to progress, where you have to wipe out the enemies. Of course, with such exceptions as the Comet Catcher, which is quite great after the buff, but I still think the impact time is too high. And I like your idea of using the Moloch, going forward, using the Comet Catcher.
I didn't put it in the deck, but I just left the Comet Catcher.
Yes. I think the Comet Catcher is great, but still, I would not be sure where I should put it, and that's, as said, not the feeling that I want to play from Pure Fire. I'm a big fan of Pure Fire and Bandits. I think that are my by far most played factions, because I like this going forward, having heavy damage spells, and yes, I'm a big fan.
What I don't like about Shadow and the card that broke Shadow for me is Frenetic Assault.
Oh yeah, it's totally
just
broke.
So stupid and busted, and just makes everything else obsolete what you play in Shadow.
I totally agree.
You just play Shadow for Frenetic Assault, and then...
we had this discussion in so many different topics, where it's just Fnatic that is super strong. Many people think that the buff material deck is not fine as it is, and I think one of the reasons is Frenetic, and probably even Regrowth. People will not like to hear that, and Shrine should have other orb restrictions too, probably. And if
what Shrine?
The Shrine of War. You can hardly play
you need energy.
Buff material without a Shrine of War, and of course you can take the Cultist Master Furnace combination, but I think the most common version is to play with the Shrine, and yeah, it's just busted. And if you just make Regrowth with 2 Nature Orbs, Shrine with 2 Fire Orbs, and change a little bit of Frenetic, the whole buff material deck looks a little bit of different, and you do not have even the need to touch the material. And just today I realized again, the material is not the problem. You can see that clearly if you play a lot of Pure Fire. He's strong, sometimes he crushes a camp like nothing, but yeah, it's still a material. Sometimes he refuses to burn, and sometimes he's CC'd and you cannot get him out. And then you have the problem that the material is not that overpowered at all.
So I would probably play, if I would play a material, because it requires you to play Enlightenment, and I hate this card, I would play triple Nature and 1 Shadow. Or basically Nature, Shadow. So you can use live stream to make your material unkillable, while it kills everything else. And not use Frenetic. Because why do we need it? You can just slap Unholy Hero, Life, what's the Unholy Hero, and what's the Shadow tier 1 card? Let me find it. Here, Life Weaving, and your material just takes no damage and everything else dies around it.
Yeah, that's
it's more than enough.
That's the most parts of above material deck, yes.
But I wouldn't play like double Shadow. Maybe even 1 Fire for the last, so I can maybe use Earthshaker.
You need the CC. If you do not have the CC, you will struggle on 2, 3, 4 out of 10 maps. Wait,
I'm playing double Nature. like theoretical, so I have Oink and I have Paralyze, which is also broken right now, so 2 broken CC spells should be enough.
I don't think so. I think Creeping and Oink are just exactly perfect as they are.
I think Creeping is 5 seconds too long.
Okay. I have the feeling that the buff that came was exactly what this card needed. It's to a pure green card at tier 2. You have this long initial waiting till the CC drops, so you need to place it quite carefully, and I think with that this spell is absolutely perfect as it is now, because it was a little bit too weak in the past. It was mandatory when you played pure nature,
Yeah.
but still not rewarding enough for that energy.
I'm not sure. It was always, but
That's
I would personally. I mean, it got. It now hits more targets. I would personally just reduce the initial time to like 3 seconds, and then put it on tier 3. I don't like stacking 17 CC spells into nature tier 2. You have Oink, you have Paralyze, you have Roots, you have what's it called, Hurricane. I mean, that's already 4, and then you have okay, Momo Jump is not really a CC spell, but
no.
let me check what nature still has. I mean, you have on tier 3, you have Fathom Lords and Swamp Drakes. Swamp Drakes has again another form of CC. It's sleeping, so it's not overlapping with other CC immunities. And then you have even Paralyze on your Time Lords, or what they're called, and your Primal Watchers.
The Primal Watcher, yeah. But still, I'm not sure if you have played a lot pure nature. In RPVE it struggles heavily. All your CC is not worth much against some enemies, because you have several problems. The last... this will be fun, a Stonekin map, great. Even nature lovers like Capo, and Capo played really a lot of nature and is a hell of a good player in pure nature, says, oh no, yeah, it's not perfect for RPVE, I'm just playing because I like it very much. It's probably the weakest faction around.
Maybe it doesn't have a lot of pushing power, but it has a lot of support power for everyone else.
Oh yeah, of course. But I think every deck should a little bit stand on its own, because if you have a tough map, that's simply needed. Hi, good girl.
Why is it dark? Oh,
Thank you for joining us.
Okay. So you have to push the outer or the inner first. On my spot.
On your spot, you should. You're the blue one. Go.
Yeah.
It's complicated. Your orb is to the upper side, but if we have a spawning camp, I should clear up my lower camp before, because else I could have two spots that come from here. There is no ideal way to approach on the inner positions, except of position 3. Position 3, you can clearly say you always go for the orb first, and there's no perfect way for the other positions. On my position, it has pros and cons for every camp that you can go first. Same for position 4, same for your position, so there's no perfect way. I killed my first camp, so and you killed the lower camp before, yeah. I just helped with an eruption.
Oh, my orb is on the top right. Okay.
Yes.
And now
you can take as a rule of thumb, from the player 1, so always the green player, it's always to the outside of the map. Always. It's never different. I started to remember this different from the 4th position. It's always to the inside of the map. So position 4 will always have a close camp situation in tier 3.
Okay, yeah, it's maybe.
Position 4 is probably...
Some mechanics have to be remade, but yeah.
You need some help.
No, I'm fine so far.
Position 4 is always the heaviest. You need... the best player or the worst player should play on position 4, and if it's the worst player you should guide him a little bit that he's not attracting tier 3 by any means, because that is really problematic.
So position 4 is the light blue one, right?
Yes, exactly. And if he pulls the tier 3 and they have a double income, player 3 can be the best of the world and he can't do a shit on some maps. Okay, we have a spawner at tier 3, I think.
Oh, I have now 3 mines. That's amazing. It's like 1 mine too
yes,
much.
we have a spawner at tier 3. You triggered my spawn.
I triggered your spawn?
Yes, I'm not sure. You know the spawning rules in the battlegrounds.
Yeah, if you get too near to a camp and you trigger the next camp also?
No, when you damage a camp. So when you damage this camp, when you damage this,
the mine.
with the first point of damage, you do this to this camp, not to the wave, but to the camp. It triggers all camps that are directly connected. And one camp that is directly connected is this one.
It's all tier 3, yeah, okay.
I need just to clean out this spawner, then I have only one wave left, and then I can trap the spawn of the tier 3.
I set up a mine, so if you need one more.
I would just...
Oh, I triggered your first spawning camp, yeah, okay. Now it's...
All good, all good. At a certain point you have to just... there's no other option for you. You need your orb. That's totally fine. I just need to kill anything now because I have no clue what's the way from the tier 3. So I think playing budget here in a BG10 is only possible if you splash. If you mix wildly, of course that's possible and it's great fun, but it's not possible to play any faction but probably pure shadow. You can play pure shadow budget always, but not any other faction.
I'm not sure, so the biggest problem of budget is probably getting to tier 3 or maybe tier 2, but if your body helps out it should be possible. I'm just not sure about pure fire. Without mine your pushing power is really low.
Mine is absolutely mandatory as eruption is, but eruption is of course a budget card.
Yeah, it's too expensive. You need like 4 eruptions to deal the same damage.
Eruption is absolutely a super important card in any pure fire deck.
Camps.
Yes, you can nuke the spawners, and that's one of the best ways to deal with it. Campaigns player often do not see this. A famous quote from Arabica, which is known for winning some contests, a very great PvE player, and he said when he had his first session with me in a BG10, he was absolutely stunned how we are throwing around with eruptions, and he said it cannot be possible that this is a good way and he made some all-time records since then in I think even the RPVE10 all-time record. He was in the group, and he's one of the guys that now loves to spam eruptions and says, yeah, it's absolutely mandatory. It's for a fast, good outcome. Okay, I trapped the wave of the tier 3, so we are free to pull there whenever we are ready.
Personally, I don't
I need
like
a diversion.
abusing mechanics or errors in mechanics.
What does mean? I need a diversion.
Who's Mr. Freeze? That's the yellow.
He's the green, the light green player.
Oh, he probably needed something to pull, so his Shadow Phoenix can. Oh, we have some Bandit Walkers.
Shadow
That will
Phoenix.
be interesting.
Yeah, of course. Every BG10 against Stonekin has 2 XL units. It must not be Bandit Walkers. It can also be Torture Guns for us. But we will have one of them for sure. And overall, it will be 2.
It will be you, so.
And that's one of the challenging parts with Pure Fire.
So I need to get my rogue into him, right?
We can try that. I will build up an army of Gladiatrix, and we need to be to make sure that we kill 1 spawner and 1 XL in the first approach. That's absolutely mandatory.
So I will pull them to my Morclays. And you can try to get the building.
Yeah, I will sneak in. I will focus 1 of the XLs, and I will snipe out a spawner with eruptions. But I'm at 150 now. I will need 300 for sniping out the spawner.
An ally requests your attention.
If you have some energy and can do 2 eruptions, you are free to pull. Oh damn! I killed this wave. I fat fingered.
That's okay.
I will kill it with a mine if it comes again.
Can we start?
You are free to pull if you ready.
Oh, we have Torture Guns, okay. That's fine. I am not sure if they can shoot. Oh, we have. Oh, our tier 4 is like.
Super
on the
close. Yes, I've
Super
seen
close.
it.
Like mega close. So. Yeah, I need to like get them here.
No, that's
Yeah,
wrong, mate. I hate this attitude. I asked for some relaxed players. If he hasn't the attitude, of course we will not win.
I'm getting my Rogan to you. Okay, disabled. Finish it off.
Ah, come on.
I think the bottom one is the fake one.
Yes, the bottom is the fake one. It's always the right spawner, and the correct spawner was just taken out.
So Rogan is amazing. let's get him. It just buffed by 25%.
Okay, I'm totally convinced that was a great move, and I learned something today. That's why I'm here.
Also, I use the promo, so if you have the normal one, you can use it.
Great strategy. Okay, that was a risky orb, because the next camp will pull in a second. Will come in a second, and will probably be attract. Okay, I will. Okay, we will have a pull. They're coming. No, they're coming.
No,
they're not coming. It's just a wave. So let's go tier 3 and we are fine.
So we are like, what, 3 minutes, like 1 minute behind? No, we have 1 minute for tier 4.
All good, it's all good.
Oh look, it's tanking damage. What should I have in stack camp? Yeah, there's a problem there if I walker right in the tier 4. So one should
Okay,
be
I will
enough.
go for the shrines now.
An ally
Because once we have
requests your attention.
shrines,
Okay.
things will snowball.
I can build one too.
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, that does not work. Not in my world.
Yeah, okay.
I'm playing too much with speedrunners, and if you have more energy, just you bring out one more unit, that's fine. But that one person keep the job. He knows when when shrine runs out.
Shrine swapping, sure.
Hi Toggy, nice to see you.
Hey, Tug is here.
You
Ooh,
will
okay,
love
yeah.
what you will see. You see my deck. You see this lovely guy from my mate here, and that's what we're doing is BG10. We pulled Prajoss.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
I'll do the Unity, and we'll snipe the spawn if possible. I will use even the second Unity.
Also, Jugger has XL damage.
Yeah, that's really nice here. That's really
Okay, I've
nice.
disabled one. I think the right is disabled, so let's kill the left one.
I think with
Oh.
2 Unities we're fine.
Okay. Let's build this so I don't
That's
need to
okay, we
keep
can
it.
still make it. We have about 6 minutes left, that's okay. Ah, okay, I shouldn't have... Do not take any wells. Do not make my mistake. Because if you take the wells now, the energy is coming in too late.
Oh, you mean because of the timer? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you need around 3 minutes 30 until you get a return of invest, and you do not want to have the spike in the last minute. That does not help you. You want to have the spike in like the last row.
It's 200 seconds, so yeah.
Okay, hello. Say hello to my Mr. Material.
To mine.
Yeah, the orb survived. Nice.
Dragon.
I have a little bit less energy compared to you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I have 2 more units.
Just stay back a little if you're afraid you cannot take the next camp. I will take out... Oh, we got an Ice Lord here. Another good reason for having a disenchant.
Oh, we have a nice spot. So I have to get the left camp, or do I help you?
Ah, left camp, left camp. We need to proceed and never go into the same camp if you have a crossing. Because if you now come to me,
We are losing time.
our tier 4 is open for attacks.
Stone Lord.
This will be a close call, but depending on the decks of our mates, we can still make it. Ah, no. Too long.
I mean, we have 4 minutes, so it should be doable. With 2 shrines. Always up.
It's a close call. Can be possible, can be a lose, we will see, but it's not 100% auto lose. That's for sure.
Oh, we have
Please
Void
go
now.
down, we have a dead end up, and I'm far weaker, so let me do the dead end, please.
Okay.
I would send an ambush strike with your troops. If you need any spell support, please let me know.
Oh, I have enough energy, I'm fine.
Ah, come on. Just kick those guy back.
So now we have only one way.
2 minutes. Yeah, if we pull...
Oh, they forgot something?
I'm not even sure. I would have scouted it with a mine if I had the time. There's... Yeah. I care.
So, why is he pulling? Okay, he is doing the camp, right?
Back up, please. There's a path over there, and you let it open. If you let it open, we will get an attack, and he should be fine to kill alone a camp.
Okay.
Plus, you have a shorter way to the next camps. Okay, I'm killing that one. Jade Shrine. I'm getting a little bit stressed.
Oh, good, oh, good. Relax.
Yeah, I do not need the win, but I do not like to lose and would like to win.
I understand.
Go through as soon as possible. Or I will go through as soon as possible.
You mean to the
Next camp.
next-
We have only
yeah.
1.5 minutes left. If we
Yeah, I
all now
don't think-
fight...
Because look at the buff day, he's losing his stuff.
Yeah, I will play my Unity.
So I go south, help him out. Or do you-
No,
oh,
no,
I
come
mean,
with
okay,
me north.
They
Come
will,
with me
but they
north.
will have to finish this on their own.
2 people for
camp.
for 1 camp, and we would be 2 people for 2 camps up there. I would need some help here with spells.
Yeah, I'm doing.
Ah, damn. Shrine is not running.
Your forces are under attack.
Just go. I do not have much energy left.
I'm giving you a unity. And I'm finishing the...
There's no boss on the last camp, but still too much things.
Yeah, I had to kill the boss. It's like... I mean, they still haven't finished, so... And they have a boss, that's a rock giant. It was a good run for, so...
Yes! Was close.
We need like, what, 30 seconds to finish?
Not even. Probably not even.
Yeah, we had still a full boss, so... I mean, if I didn't struggle so hard, we would probably win, because we had to do 1 more camp for them, but it's okay.
Yeah, a little bit more focus, and you always need to look out a little bit for the lanes, how the lanes are set up on this particular map, and act accordingly. And at best, when you're fighting those camp, before I said, oh, go up. If you had looked a little bit how the ways here, how the camps are connected, and would have gone up already, that could have been already enough. And if I had played a little bit more focused, this could have been the last seconds we needed to.
Yeah.
I had to fight alone for like 6 minutes. Yeah, it's... I'm not a fan of Mr. Freeze, so yeah, sometimes you have to fight alone. It's an RPVE. Thanks.
And we have Ultra Lord.
Thanks.
Nothing can go wrong.
To Wait a second, I just need to say my laptop that he should not restart right now. Good boy, be a good boy. Yeah, Ultralord is a strong player. I think when I met him first, he was... I hope this is not offending to you, but he was almost a beginner, and he learned so much. He's doing a great job in PvP in the contests lately. Played a lot tense with us. He's really an amazing player.
It's always good to have. We are starting.
I do not like the attitude of our fourth player.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's the right word. I miss a little bit the Kampfgeist. Just to take things as they are and do the best out of it.
And a little bit more motivation.
Yes, that would be great. If we have flyers at the tier 2...
Oh god, Lost Souls.
Yes, if we have flyers at the tier 2, this is a restart. It's almost impossible to beat Lost Souls in random groups with flying tier 2. Yeah, restart.
Why?
Okay, we can try it, but I have enough experience to tell you it's impossible in a group that's not in Discord altogether, that's not playing meta decks. This is not...
So you normally coordinate and help each other?
I'm
Pushing for the camps?
not even sure we all have
Wait, why do
a
you
red
fucking
start.
have vigils?
We have vigils, and it's normal. The flyers are vigils, and that's the problem why I said it's a restart, because even in a pre-made, you usually use 80 to 100 eruptions to get tier 3.
Okay, that's a lot of eruptions.
1 second, I will just answer the chat.
Yeah, if the false nomads or this, I would need red ones.
Usually in a common random group, I just refuse to play this at all. It just makes no sense. I do not need the win, but it's a loss by default.
So you but they don't have a spawner, right?
It has a spawner, of course. Every tier 2 camp has always a spawner.
And it does spawn Lost Souls units.
It does spawn Lost Souls units, yeah. The only exception for BG10 is that the tier 3, tier 4 row, they can or cannot have a spawner. But the tier 2 has always a spawner. That's set. We had once a map of the month like this, and even though many people tried over the whole month, two pre-made groups were able to beat this map over the whole month. It's really a tough fight. The last time we had it, it were like 3 or 4 groups.
But they didn't just play pure fire, right?
And no. You play pure meta deck. You play a fire start, and you need 4 fire starters for that. I cannot start right now.
Yeah,
still in game.
I was checking out what it takes.
You need 4 fire starters. It's simply not possible if one starts not with fire, because you need all the eruptions to get this vigils down, and you need to go into Shadow Nature, then at best in a combination, play Shadow Phoenix, go up to a Batarial, buffed Batarial, or buffed Bloodhorn, or probably a Banzai deck could beat it. You know, these are really tough tier 4 camps too, and you lose so much time at the start of the match. I think the last time we had it, it were like 4 groups, 5 groups that could beat it, with some repeating names. And be sure every player that is here since 2 years as me. You know every of those names. There's not a single name was in those people that beat it. That was not familiar. Only very veteranish groups were able to take that out. Oh, this is amazing. I would like to see how you approach Twilight.
Twilight.
Because Twilight 10s are really tough for Pure Fire. Oh, this is this a 10? Is this a 9? Oh, this is a 1.
No, yeah, we have 14 minutes. It's a 1. Yeah. So I'm showing you how you approach a 1 on Twilight. I just run up and use 1 eruption, and then everything is dead.
Okay, cool. Good to know. I will make some notes now.
Yeah, please do. And we got 1 BFP, so if you do this like 200 times.
Difficulty 10, okay, this time I double checked.
Oh wait, I have to set up my promo jugger, of course.
By the way, do you have the link of your YouTube channel at hand?
Didn't you post it?
I did not so far. I will just pick it from here.
I think you posted it.
I posted it in the Discord.
Oh, you
just to make sure that people here know what's happening. I will just repost it into the chat. My guest here is Mr. Prajoss, or I don't know, not sure how to spell it.
Prajoss.
Prajoss,
Prajoss. It's both okay.
He's making YouTube's video lately on Battleforge, and we had a short discussion about playing Pure Fire today, and I just invited him. I thought it was cool to get to know him, and check out his YouTube channel. He has some amazing videos.
Thank you. I will do some more solo guides. This is like the next stuff, and tomorrow is a new map of the month release for solo, so I will do a few guides there.
I hope we will have a little tougher one again. It would be cool. But I'm a little bit out of playing solo maps. It should be fire. Isn't it fire? It is fire. Oh, I love to see that now.
Yeah, it's fire. So I did a random PVE10 with my fire budget deck today, and I got to tier 3 like in 8-9 minutes, and then it took me 25 minutes to find my tier 4. I couldn't find it. I just kinda killed half of the map until I found my tier 4.
I can give you the rules how such a map is built up. If you have the experience how these random maps are built up, you can be sure where your orbs are. I can give you after the stream. Please remind me. I can give you some rules about that and show you where to find your orbs in a solo match, because it always follows the same rules.
So it triggered.
I once made. Okay. You need to attack them. Yeah. I will help. I will help. I hope for no spawning camp. But if you do not take out this camp in this attack now... okay. You will drown in spawns. Yep. You have no chance.
I guess so.
Damn.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention, then my nomad got a bit too far.
And if you trigger this camp first, yeah, I will have a problem now.
I will try to help you out.
No, do nothing, do nothing. Nothing where you can help now, but I could need your help with the next spawner probably.
Okay. We'll
because
I have enough energy for 2 eruptions.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, just make the call.
Just now. Try to get in some of the wave. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Got 1 spawner of my ass, that's very cool. Okay, those will die. bit delayed now. It will work. No, my dear laptop, we've talked about this. Do not restart now.
Who's restarting? What?
My laptop wants to restart, and
Oh, your laptop wants to restart.
that's the place where I can see the chat. And it's a quite old laptop. If he restarts, I think he will not be back until
tomorrow.
yeah, something like that.
I understand. So now I take out a second spawner, right?
No, if you're able to get your orb, get your orb. As
Also, just go
at
to
least the
tier two.
wells. The wells. Always grab your wells in RPVE as soon as possible. That's
I
a
need
rule of
energy.
thumb.
I understand.
At least the early wells, because that scales up the whole match.
Okay. Okay. Grab one. Now I have to get rid of these guys.
Can you place a defense mine on my left lane? That'd be
Give
awesome.
me like 40 energy, and I
Okay,
will do it.
no, it's too late then. I will just take out this here.
Why do you get attacked by enforcers and scavengers?
It's the tier 3 spawn. Once you
Oh yeah. I can use an eruption.
no, damn. This can probably help. Sure.
They disrupted some. Oh no, the enforcer is
Yes.
clearing up your
Destroyed.
stuff. So what's the correct play for my position? Do I just wait until you have your orb?
No. You can clean up your left camp if you have the time. It's only important once you as first step you already took out the right spawner. And once you took out the right spawner, you just want to kill the remainings to grab the wells as soon as possible, to have that energy income, to get your return of invest. And that was important, just to keep things rolling. Now you can just clean up as soon as possible, and
Yep.
as you were quite early with your pull,
Yeah, it was.
it delayed
on
me a little
accident.
bit, so you just do your job as good as you can. I
Problem
could not
was
take
the-
my second orb. If I take my second orb, they will come to this, and the way is shorter, and I will be in big problems.
The pull wasn't intentional. That was the problem.
All good, all good. We're at minute 5. It's all good if you take up to 8-9 minutes to clear the tier 2. This happens in a BG10.
Oh, okay.
You have a very long early game in the BG10 4-player, and a very short, at best a very short tier 4 phase. Where's my wave? Why is it not coming? When I go here, it's coming, I guess.
Ooh, we have a juggernaut.
Yeah, I think he's not big problem. Usually, he's not.
He should die pretty fast. So I can't get too near.
I can go tier 2 now, that's fine.
Do they attack now your tier 2?
Yes. Always, waves go always to the latest build orb.
To the last camp. So after you are ready, I will pull the juggers on my side.
Yeah, but make sure. Okay, you want me to grab the spawner?
Yep.
Okay.
You have nomads, I have some ranged units ready and some more clays.
Give me just like 30 seconds to gather some energy. Oh
Yeah.
no, the laptop restarts. Ultralord, if you have something important, I will just open my... It on my phone probably works there. Twitch.
I can read it. I have it on my screen, on my second screen. Anyway. So I can tell you if someone writes something in the chat.
Yeah, I have the stream manager on the phone. Should work too.
Okay.
After this wave, I will go forward, and then you can pull. I think you can pull right now. It's fine.
Okay. Come here, big guys. Come here.
Okay, beware of the Boom Brother. It is heavily damage.
No! Oh, okay. He just...
Spawners down. Everything you kill will not revive.
Okay, it's only just a Boom Brother left.
Only you say.
How often does this dude shoot?
He does nothing else than doing this shoot. I think in a 5 or a 4-second rate.
Yeah, I have to
I can't.
micro my dudes then. Okay, he's dead. This is a pain in the ass, this Boom Brother.
Yeah. Meet his big brother in tents. You have sometimes a bandit version of it, and he's crazy strong.
Alright, the Boom Brother is a tier 4 unit, right? I was like, why is it so strong? Hey, didn't we kill the Jugger?
Not yet.
Okay, double mine it.
Yeah, sure, sounds good. If you get your nomads in as tanks, I would focus on the gladiatrix.
Okay, go, go, go.
Oh, and we got the juicy double shadow meter here.
Thank you. Probably wasn't necessary, but okay. The good part is we can just take out tier 3 and not pull tier 4. I'm setting up the double shrine.
Okay. That's cool. I'm usually slacking if I stream, trying to catch up with the chat. Playing, which I'm not used currently. Ah, sad.
Because your orb is not ready and mine is ready.
Nah, I just wanted to trap those wave. You know of wave traps in RPVE? I guess so.
I just saw it earlier, but I don't like it. So.
It's a tool you sometimes...
It's abusing the mechanics of the wave spawning.
I'm not even sure if that's correct. I usually do not want to make this in every match. I think it's a little bit cheesy, yes, but it's a good tool and you should use it when you need it. And as fire player, you sometimes really, I think, need it. On a 9, if you have a close camp, a close tier 3 camp on your outer lane, you really need to trap your waves, else you fight too long for nothing.
Shrine active in like 20 seconds.
Okay. I'm not sure if delaying that long is good.
No, we'll just go in.
Yeah.
Enough things will die on the way. Until we get to the camp, it will be ready.
I think we have some
And go.
meta decks on the left.
Okay, spawn and go. spawner gone.
Beware that you do not pull the next cap. Because that would be 3 spawns coming.
So, do we take the energy?
8 minutes. -3. Yeah,
5
it's a
minutes.
close call. We cannot tell. Could be worth, could be not. I will take one as well and leave the other. You always have to. You can do the math something like, we have 8 minutes left. We subtract 330 for the return of West, so we're at 430, and usually you need less time for the last row, so could be worth.
So we still put just one orb. One well.
Okay. This is a situation where I'm very glad to have my Amber Strikes, just to push up a little bit the HP pool of my unity.
Yeah, good call.
2 Amber Strikes have a little more HP than 1 Material, but cost less. We've pulled them. It's not worth to delay, I think. Oh, this damage is so heavy.
Mine too.
No, don't do this. Amber Strike. Ah, my Amber Strike was doing selfish
So
things.
now, do we split it or do we split it?
You go into the dead end. Let me proceed for the last row.
Dead end is right side, right? Yeah.
Yes. Because you have spent your energy on the shrines.
Amber strike right now.
I will wait for a second. We'll heal on the next wave.
Yeah,
probably
I
I can
need
have
energy.
Ultra Lord
I
a
need-
little bit.
I need some energy.
I think I will have a wave in a second. Where's my wave? Okay, I will respawn the material.
Oh no!
A shrine?
Paying it. I wasn't paying attention.
Shrine? Yeah, okay, cool.
And then lost the but okay. Respawn materials.
Is he fine? Sure, he's fine.
Yeah, it sucks having less energy and then setting another Earthshaker. I have a boss here, so it's like a bit much for two materials.
Which boss?
The one that spawns Infernos.
Not
The
sure.
aspect
Oh,
of
okay, the
summer.
aspect of summer. Usually not the biggest problem. for-
Yeah, but two materials I don't have the energy because I built some stuff.
How much? 2 materials?
Yeah.
Thank you, Ultra Lord, I guess. Damo, if you hear me, yes, I'd be glad. Just cannot type in this match at the moment.
Spawner.
Please, if you hear me, do not heal me, please. I would love to see how the Brannock Fire Spears are since the rework. It looks doable.
Are we done?
Yes, we're done.
Okay. We should be done, right?
Yeah, there's some remaining here at your spot. Is some remaining?
Probably. Ah, right.
No, not probably. Sure.
I left them for later.
I'm not sure if you know mine scouting, but I can see there's enemies.
Yeah.
Okay. GG.
Oh, you can test with the mine. Oh, that's interesting. Good to know.
Okay. Gotta remake the group. Because I do not want to offend. Okay, he just left. That's fine. Cause a friend rest.
It's okay to sometimes offend. Do I need blaster? So we probably don't need fire dragons, right? I wasn't sure they did anything. Like potatoes are more than enough damage, so I'm ditching fire dragons for a bit now.
I just play mostly the fire dragons to play fire dragons. I think they
Yeah,
should
I
be in a
understand.
pure fire deck, but they're not absolutely needed. Okay. I'm not sure if I can invite another player to our call. Can I? If I made it like this. Ultra. Are we friends? Are we friends here? I'm not sure. Please give me just a second, peeps.
Yeah, take your time.
Ultralord, can you give me a short whisper on Discord? I don't think we're friends. It's Volin hashtag 8101. I think I can just add you here to our call, as we can hop over to the official Discord. Group is private, so nobody can pin. Oh, where I think we had a conversation, but I had so many. Ultralord, here he is.
You have it.
Adam as a friend. Please take that friend in white I just sent you. Because I'm only allowed to add a friend to the call, as it seems.
You're not allowed to add a friend. What?
No, I'm only allowed to add a friend.
Okay. No calling random people.
Yeah. Thanks for answering, Damo. Damo is a friend, but
No.
I'm not sure if we are friends on Discord even. But
Yeah,
he
you
said,
are right. I'm seeing his name on the list.
yes. You should see his name a lot on the list.
I mean on your Discord friends list.
Okay. Damo is, I think, even holder of the current RPVE 10 and 9 all-time record. So we get some real VIP with us.
Okay. Yeah, I was never a fan. And
Greetings.
Greetings, Mr. Ultralord. Nice to have you again.
Nice to be here.
thanks for joining.
What Damo plays is a Pure Frost now. I know this deck. And I think that's another curiosity to be seen in a BG10. Most people should and would avoid playing Pure Frost.
I like Pure Frost to push early.
Yeah.
I wanna see how he does it, but I would play it with Northern Keeps.
He will do. He will do. You will need in BG10. You can do BG9s with or without, but in BG10 Northern Keep is quite set. There are some tier 2 and tier 3 situations which you cannot solve without having Northern Keep. Okay, we have lost souls, but probably without flyers. Yes. It would be very nice if you take your lower camp first, or would assist me with my first camp, because else the spawning situation can be troublesome. Same goes for Ultralord and Damo. Damo is attacking the upper camp, so no problem for Ultralord.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll help you. I have 2 eruptions set up.
Okay, then I will... Oh, we got thunder and lightning.
Okay,
here.
I'm just spawning 3 eruptions. Good.
Yeah, you were too fast. I was just going my loop because I didn't want my nomads to die from the tree fiend.
That's okay.
Ah, and I got a wave with a dancer. That's beautiful. And here's a thing where wave trapping is not mandatory, but you do not want to play it without a wave trap. I'm not sure if you're aware of this method, which I use here, but it's the most effective wave trap that you can do.
Yeah, you let them split so they don't deal any damage to the units.
This is cheesy as hell, of course, but these maps are so super strong that I do not feel bad about cheesing a little bit. Because else they are very
I can
hard
take
to
my
beat.
camp?
You can take your camp. Yeah, thank you very much. I got the
Just
time
make sure
to
I
take
need
out one.
I need my north camp.
If I got a spawn from tier 3, things are getting very ugly anyways. Now. Okay, I think Damo has some troubles. Put him in mind.
Oh.
You looking very good. Ultralord.
Yeah, I can support him.
Look for yourself, look for yourself.
Okay.
I'm in a very comfortable position and can just support. Okay, I got tier 3 spawns, so I'm not in a comfortable position.
Okay.
The table is
This will get ugly. This will get ugly as hell.
Yeah, I can't defend for myself, so I'll just help you. I have 7 million Twilight Slayers in my face.
Got nice. Got him trapped too. Got both waves trapped now. Damo is good. Yes, he is. I'm good. Ultralord cleared the low one. Beware Ultralord, whenever Damo pulls the camp, you will get a spawn from tier 3, which can have either a mana beast, a tree fiend or something like that. Will
Yeah,
not
3-3
be
is already on the way.
I need to recharge some energy.
Oh, my wife is cooking and it smells delicious.
At 8 o'clock?
Yes, because we were streaming at dinner time.
Oh, okay.
And we usually eat too late.
It's the usual time for me to eat, like 8 o'clock.
Yes, for us too. And when I'm streaming, she's understanding and just preparing for us to having dinner at in half an hour or something like that.
Okay, can I take my TF2 now, please?
The bad thing, once I take out my second spawner, I will have to untrap the tier 3 wave once again.
Sounds painful.
You got your off... No, did not.
No.
Where for your orbs
Still
and
getting-
wells? Looks good.
I had to kind of delay my TF2.
The good news about BG10 Lost Souls tier 3 is that it's not much harder usually than it is in the 9.
So wait. No, the bottom camp is your second camp.
Are here also XL units, tier 4 units
no,
in the
that's
tier 3
what I
camp?
just meant. It's not that steep curve. It's almost the same as a 9 camp.
Okay.
I should have done this different. Wasted a lot of gladiatrix charges for nothing. Air T3.
Seriously,
That means
how
Vigils probably.
fucking range does this Violent Fiend have? Well, that take my monument. Stuff it, you guys. Guess that's it. Now let's pull back.
Oh
Yeah.
god, the flyer's coming to mob.
You have flyers.
Requests your attention.
Yes, tier 3 has flyers. Damo called it, and that's the ugly thing about the tier 4 position I mentioned in the last game, if you remember. He's always position 4 in a close position.
Where is the camp?
Oh, the smell of roasted onions is so great.
Oh god. No. Finish it. Yeah, 3 fins are a pain.
Okay, we're at 8:30. It looks okay. I think if you want to have support building in this deck, probably Blaster Cannon does a better job. You should try
Not
it.
sure. But it's only good against. I will put it in the deck. I have to see what I'm gonna cut.
You
Is it
should
a
at
bit
least
short?
try it. It's the pure meta to play this.
I pulled.
Okay. I didn't expect it, but try to snipe the spawner. There's F9 here. Nah, my ground presence will not make it long enough.
I give you a ground presence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now he's not able to kick off his... But we got a spawner, we got most.
Oh, they attack me.
Okay, Damo has and Ultralord have a really shitty position over there.
I see it.
More unholy. Certainly. Okay, we need to get tier 3 as soon as possible. We need to help them.
If you give me some energy, I will do. Why are you attacked now?
Watch this wave! Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, I'm setting on mine. They just attacked me too, so...
Oh! 2-2-3.
It was
Damo's
two
position is
triples.
hard.
Yes.
Oh, this is giant wave all the time.
Go forth. Kick off your CC. Oh no! I think he could. He could! Great. We have a double income, that's why the waves are so hard.
Oh, we have our tier 4 is also really close.
The tier 4 wave is trapped. The priests, do not attract those priests, probably, if you can. You see what I mean? Those priests on the right? They are from the wave. They are stuck and will prevent us from respawn. Take your units here a little bit back. Yeah, come over to my gladiatrix, that's perfect. I'm out of mines now. Whoa, holy.
Yeah.
But we did
Guess we
well. Ah, no, 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 no! My gladiatrix was moving over there. Sorry for the scream.
All fine.
Will you take the Shrine of War again?
Yeah. I can.
Oh no.
Let's build you.
Okay,
It's the
let's
first,
switch
the
over
second.
to Magma Fiends. You can release your smalls probably. Should be doable for Magma Fiends. Okay. I check if I can help them now.
Yeah.
I wait
give
for
him
the
a Unity.
Inferno. I think the only thing that can help here is an Inferno and a Unity Queen.
Yeah, I did Unity Green.
When comes the Shrine in?
Also, you can stack Unity. Shrine is in 15 seconds ready.
Okay, I will not wait for that, probably.
Shrine will be active in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay.
What a start.
14 minutes, so we need to hurry up as hell. Can still make it, but it will be a close call. A little bit late on.
Oh boy. Okay, they cleared their tier 4.
They did not only have a close camp over there, I think the next camp is close to. Not any wells anymore.
Yeah.
They're not worth. Okay, I pulled again. That's not good. But we need to make kills anyway, so... I take it as an opportunity.
Okay, I guess I don't need my juggers. At least I got to a north camp.
I will care for the middle road, go just defending and push as soon as you can. I will clean the middle and then come over.
A power well is under attack.
Okay. This is a map where you probably want to have the Moloch.
Yeah. But it's so slow, it will take like 70 hours to get somewhere.
Ultralord, I
Oh,
can
yeah,
support you
see.
with spells.
Two
I
camps.
wouldn't have expected another camp there.
Yeah, can clear.
We have a ton of camps.
Just turn too early.
I will
Your forces are under attack.
give you some kills over there. Shrine. Yes.
It's active, it's active. I had to save kinda my turtle.
Will you take the upper camp, Prajoss? Because I think you have less energy than...
Yeah, I
me.
have.
You've bound 300 in the shrines. If somebody can break you through, I think I should be able... Oh, damn, this is ugly as hell. Nope. Whoa, I got a super lag. You can probably see it on stream.
Yeah, I see it on the stream. What the hell is happening?
Yeah. Got a 1 FPS performance and can do nothing. I cannot even scroll anymore. Oh no, come, let me play here. Oh no.
An ally requests your attention.
Frost fucked my performance.
Oh, it didn't make it, damn. I have to reset my materials. Try and go active.
You have Unities, Ultralord? I'm not sure. when-
No.
Okay, I played one. Have an eye on it when you need another one. Just tell me.
Yeah, if you have one, nee, heal us up.
Yeah, still the infested is so much damage to the root growth. Can be not enough.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that.
Yeah, that's why I played another. Unity is really strong against this infestus.
1.5 minute.
The Arc
We won't make it.
Holy fuck. The Arcfiends are dealing so much damage.
Yes. And if you got those Banestone Arc,
Requests your attention.
I'm not sure what he pinged. If you have those
Yeah, there was
combinations,
tech.
that's really strong to beat with non-meter decks. Even with meter decks, it will get a tough fight.
Yep.
But you see probably now, we had some really hard matchups, but you see now where my doubts came from this morning when saying cheap, viable fire deck is not possible.
Yeah, not on 4 player, only on 1 player.
I'm not sure if you have engaged enough one-player maps.
I will do.
You will do, and you will see where your limits are, because one-player maps are usually harder.
Even harder.
Yes, one-player maps are... The layout is the fucking thing in one-player maps. One-player maps are usually more challenging to the single player. Shrine, please.
Yeah, it's active.
Okay.
You just don't see it because of the no buff.
I
Oh,
played 2
but-
dragons and those dragons got crushed in a second. It was crazy. GG guys, I'm really
We tried.
done. We tried hard, and we lost, and that's life. Well, it was great fun to play some tens with some non-meta decks.
It is challenging as hell, yeah. Especially Lost Souls. Fire was doable. Bandits are so too.
Yeah, but I
Don't
always
compete
have to remind people that if you can beat a bandit map, a bandit random map, that does not mean that your deck is viable to beat all maps. And
That's correct.
yeah, if you have a map of the month and say, yeah, it's cool for this particular map of the month, that's fine, but you should at least know your limits. And I think playing with Pure Frost or Pure Fire is great, but you should know your limits and that it is not an optimal deck. And if you have really tough tens, nothing beside pure meta decks can really stand for that. And even then you may struggle.
Yeah, it's probably you need like 1 player supporting. I'm not sure.
You mean one player playing a pure support deck?
Yo.
Does not help at all. No,
No help.
you
Okay.
need 4 players to have good viable decks overall, and then helping each other in the moments where it's needed. It's no help if one player has a pure support deck with probably Frenetic Infect and those healing spells. You should have them for yourself, and if you need another one, you just ping at your position, you speak with each other, engage with each other in the chat and say, I need some help for this one, and you get the help. Or if like Ultralord has the Infester in an early camp, you just ping, need some help. Everybody throws in what he has, and that is usually a way to succeed in most of the maps. I always have to laugh a little bit if people say, I win them all. Nobody wins them all.
Yeah,
Not on 10.
no one.
And I have some very elitist, a very elitist friend group in Battleforge, and I know nobody wins them all.
My question is a tutorial mandatory?
No.
Yes.
It is not. But you need a very strong tier 4, and there are some really strong tier 4 compositions. You can play Bonsai Purple. At least I haven't seen it since its latest rework, but I think she should be still be very strong and viable. That's good. You can play Bloodhounds as Ultralord did with a perfect spell support. Super strong deck. You can play Amber Strikes, very strong deck. I've seen performing Abomination decks very good, but I think that's a little bit player depending. There was very strong player that made a very good job with it. Lost Spirit Ships, or a mix of some meta tier 4 units, like having some worms paired with bloodhorns, also such things can work very great. but it must be something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
I
mean,
haven't seen Lost Spirit Ship decks on 10s that much, so...
Spiritual was nerfed a few times.
It
Yeah.
works for sure. I'm sure it works because it works here even better in some 9s, as you have usually a very long time till you get your tier 4 and sitting on very much energy then, and you can kick off with like 6-7 ships at once, and it works. I've seen that. I've done that in the beta, and I know that it works. Guys, I have a little bit of a headache. I would finish the stream right now. I want to thank you both for coming.
It's okay, yeah.
It was a great session, and I've learned at least one thing with the Rogan, which is a great idea to approach certain tier 3 situations. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it.
At least if you play Pure Fire. I mean, if you play...
Yeah, also on other decks.
You need Fire and Shadow because other decks have CC, but Fire and Shadow don't.
True.
So. And Rogan pushes some more damage, so it's good in the strategy.
Yeah, it's at least a good solution to have some CC around. Okay, at the end, I just finished my minutes. Let me open a booster for you. Probably.
Well, I will buy one.
Oh, nice! Wasteland Terror. But still not my well-deserved promo, which I'm waiting for.
Hey, I got a Gem Eye and a Saturnile. I don't have all Gem Eyes. That's good.
On last thing. If you got some Warlocks spare, you all know what we get to do with our Warlocks.
What do we have? Why do we send Togi the Warlocks?
It's his favorite card, #1.
Yes, it's he loves Warlocks. And
so any Warlock, I have one left. So is this real or are we trolling Togi?
We're trolling. We're trolling.
Okay.
It's a meme.
Nice.
It's like sending juice tanks to Mr. Volin.
It's like people are sending me juice tanks. I think in the first 10 or 12 streams, I got like 20 or 30 juice tanks in my mail.
That's like 500 BFP. So.
Oh no! You haven't seen my first stream ever. My first stream ever. I will decharge it because I have not. There's 2 good things that you can do with the juice tank. I will not have 4 right now, but you can reforge them. That's a great purpose of juice tanks. And the other thing that you can do with the juice tank is to sell it for a reasonable price.
Yeah, no, it's like right now it's at 25, but it was a...
No, that is a reasonable price. For juice tank. Guys, good luck, have fun. Anyone in the stream, please buy it. Take the opportunity. We all know.
I was nearly buying it, but it's. Look, someone 0T. I was looking earlier, and they were all at 25, 30 BFP.
Joking.
0T, yeah, but 0T bought him, and now it's. And set them all for 100.
I think we have not many people in the stream, or they are too honest because nobody... okay, there it is. Nobody bought it so far. I hope a friend got it now.
It wasn't me, I have mine already.
Yeah, most done.
It's of course a joke. A common card has its value through reforging these days, its minimum value, and of course the minimum value of a uncommon card should be like 20 24 25 BFP or something like that, and that would be the real value of a juice tank, of course. The minimum value of an uncommon card.
25, 30, yeah.
And people selling it for 30 to 40 BF. Really, a juice tank is a card that you use twice in campaign if you want. You never need it. It's a useless card, heavily overrated card. That's why I smashed some juice tanks at the beginning of each of my streams.
I mean, you use juice tanks if you played Nightmares and Nightmares Shot because you were running out of energy wells.
Oh, they changed the map
Yeah,
quite
but
good.
now they changed, yeah. Or you use it on behind enemy lines, so
Yeah.
like, but that would be the only maps you really need it for, probably.
Or you do it with pure nature in around half an hour. That's not even a reason for using
Otherwise,
juice
you just want to have the juice must flow, yeah? So, because the juice must flow.
By the way, awesome times for Nightmares in solo. Bad.
24.
24 minutes. That's good. Miss Little Ducky's getting a speedrunner. Cool.
How's the speedrunning icon work?
No. You mean those shoes?
Yeah.
They're not connected to speedruns anymore. They're
not.
They just assign how much you've played. After you got these Cyan 4-star rank, the next rank is this is literally the next rank to this one. And this is insane. When got Blue Fire so much XP? Crazy. Yeah, I've played not much the last 2 months. I'm missing things. Guys, again, it was great fun. I need to end this. Gotta get some medicine against my headache and have a dinner now with my beloved wife. Probably see you next week in the stream and have a good night.
Have a good night.
Same
Bye
to
bye.
you.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Okay, muted. Stream is ended. Oh no.